Today, we're going to do a couple of beers from the Stone Angel Brewing Company from right here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I did briefly touch on one of Stone Angel's beers in my one of my St. Patrick's Week episodes, but I haven't given them their proper due yet, so I'm going to do that today. We're going to start off with something called the Blue Note. It's a session ale. It's a 3.75% alcohol, 36 IBUs. I don't have any Stone Angel glassware, so I'm just going to use this. Here we go. I'm going to pour myself a little bit of this. All right, look at that. So it's a little bit of a hazy color, maybe similar to like a hazy IPA kind of a thing. A little bit of a floral note on the nose. Pretty slight though. Yeah, I'm just gonna activate that a little. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of a floral, maybe a bit citrusy, kind of a note to that. Let's give it a little taste. That is nice and mild. That is a really nice mild session ale. So the interesting thing with session ales is, I mean, they're lighter in alcohol. Like I said, this is 3.75%, but they're full of flavor. You know, it's like if you want just a lighter beer, alcohol content wise, but you know, you don't want to give up on taste, you know, and have like, I don't know, a Bud Light or a Coors Light or whatever. Like a good session ale, and a lot of our local breweries have them. A good session ale is the way to go. So what's we got to say on the side here? First of all, I guess let's address the name Blue Note. Obviously, a tribute to the legendary Winnipeg music venue, the Blue Note Cafe. If you're from Winnipeg, you've heard of the place, even though it has not been around in many years now. Some people would say it's famous all around the world. I mean, Neil Young did name one of his side projects, Neil Young and the Blue Notes, after the Blue Note Cafe, where he had come on stage and jammed after hours. And it was that kind of place where a lot of musicians hung out there, and a lot of touring musicians went there. And, you know, you could get someone really famous coming up on stage and doing a jam session with whoever's playing that night. Here's confession time from a Winnipegger here. I never actually went to the Blue Note. Not the original location. Around the time that I kind of, you know, started going to bars and seeing live music and that kind of thing, it was kind of already, a lot of people said it wasn't as cool as it used to be. I think, if I remember correctly, I think it opened in the early 80s, like around 83 or something. And into late 80s, early 90s, it stopped operating really late. Like in its early days, it would be open till, you know, all hours of the night, and they'd be serving booze and teapots and stuff like that to avoid the liquor laws. And I think they were shut down a number of times. I mean, this is all just the legends. I don't know if these are facts, but these are the things I remember hearing about the place. And then when I kind of, you know, got to the age where I was going to bars and seeing live music, I remember all anyone talked about is how that place just wasn't as cool as it used to be. You know, it's not the same. It's not real. Blah blah blah. I did go. They reopened in another location, and I went to that a few times. And I liked it, but again, I kept hearing about how it wasn't real. So Stone Angel Brewing opened up in Winnipeg in 2017, around the time that more breweries started becoming a thing here. They've got a great tap room. It's a big, spacious area. I think the laws are at 50 people in a tap room, so it's not like big in terms of like it would seat like a ton of people, but it's a big airy room, and they got a really nice patio in the back. They did a really location wise. They did a great thing. So they're on Pembina Highway, so they'd be like down here according to this map. So they are located really close to like one of the rapid transit lines in the city, and they apparently tried to get the transit station renamed to Brewery, but no, it's called Plaza instead. And in fact, they did a brew last year. I think it was a sour ale called Brewery, not Plaza, in honor of that. It was a pretty cool thing. It's a great place. I wasn't even planning on doing an episode today. I just kind of was in the neighborhood, thought I would stop in because I really wanted to try this. This was, I like a good session ale. It seemed like it'd be a nice, way to spend my Saturday afternoon. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to drink these, I might as well let you all in on the experience as well. I hope this sticks around for the summer because this could be a really nice beer to enjoy in the back deck. So up next, we have something called Brennan's Barn. It's 5% alcohol, 50 IBUs. It's an Irish pale ale. Interestingly, it has this image with bicycles on it, which I always associate with Radlers. I'm not sure why that is. I gotta look into that. That's because I've seen a few Radlers, including Stone Angel's Uncle George, which is the best Radler you can get, hands down. So this is obviously going to be a little bit darker. Like a reddish hue to it, which is nice, eh? I did a red ale from them on one of my St. Patrick's Week episodes, and it was like a darker red. This is a little bit of a lighter red. It's pretty light on the nose. Definitely maltier than the last one. Here's the little story for you. We don't know what beer they poured at dances in Billy Brennan's barn, but we think they'd like our Irish Pale Ale. A medium amber-colored pale ale inspired by IPAs produced by the Irish craft beer industry, named after the iconic barn in a famous Irish poem. The poem is Inniskin the poem is Inniskeen Road. Inniskeen Road. I'm not Irish and I don't know a lot about poetry, so you'll have to excuse me on that. But that translates to July Evening, and the poem is by Patrick Kavanagh. So yeah, it tastes a little different than I would have expected from the way it looks. It's just like a brightness to the taste that I was expecting more, just like that a little bit of a heavier maltiness, just something a little, I don't know, zippier to it or something. Maybe that's the hops. It is 50 IBUs, so I guess that's just the hops bringing that in. It's quite nice though. So a little bit more about Stone Angel Brewing. They're pretty big in like into European styles of beer and a lot of like Irish and British styles. They do a great job of that kind of beer. And I mean, that's kind of, my name's MacKenzie. Like, I mean, I'm come from a Scottish family. Like, to me, it was like, that's the British beers were the ones that, I was gonna say I grew up on them. I didn't grow up on them, but they were around the house, and early in my beer drinking days, I got that's some of what I sampled. So they've currently got about a dozen different beers available in cans on their website. A really great thing about them, they got in on the delivery thing pretty early on in the pandemic, and it was one of the first places we ordered from. And when they deliver your beer, they deliver it in the van of happiness. That's you get the phone call saying the van of happiness is here. I very, very much enjoy knowing that the van of happiness is out there, keeping us all sane. Anyway, stay safe, drink local. Cheers.